Brothers and sisters, good evening. We are about to begin together our Lenten journey. Ash Wednesday is upon us, and then all that follows. So I want to wish you every blessing and grace for this holy season of Lent, which will carry us towards Easter. Welcome, dear Feast of Lent, said an English poet. We might not always think that, but welcome. We open our hearts to Lent. We can think of Lent, as I've said before, I'm afraid, but it's worth saying, that as Lady Lent, as a lady who is dressed in purple, who comes and to lead us, take us by the hand, and lead us towards the mountain of Easter, lead us from the purple of our own grief to the white and bright light of grace. So we, with the help of God, embark on this Lenten journey with all our brothers and sisters throughout the world. We can think of all kinds of images for Lent, can't we? It's like a little workout. We go to the gym. We try to get rid of some fat, perhaps, and develop a muscle, or we go around the house, we chuck out some of the rubbish and try to put some things in order, or we go into the garden and do some weeding and do some planting. But whatever image we use, it is a moment of grace. It's a time of refinding our focus in life. So many things to distract us on a daily basis. It's a time to prioritize again. Well, here's just one practical thought, because there are so many things we can do, so many things that are offered us during Lent. Healing remedies, as the liturgy calls them, so many sacraments and the Stations of the Cross and devotions and practices and abstinences and fasting and so on. But let's just think on Ash Wednesday. On Ash Wednesday, as on every day in the Church's liturgy, we hear a psalm. And the psalm that we hear on Ash Wednesday is Psalm 50 or 51, the great psalm of repentance of David after his murder of Uriah and his sin with Bathsheba. And therefore this figure of David comes before us, David the psalmist. The Psalms are at the very heart of the Old Testament. They are prayers that have come from the experience of the people of Israel, both individually and together. I sometimes think of them as though these people were digging holes of experience. And those were holes that Christ himself, when he came, would fill, because Christ, as a Jew, prayed the Psalms. He would have learned the Psalms at home, learned the Psalms from his mother, learned the Psalms in the synagogue. He would have prayed them on a daily basis. And as we know, during his passion and on the cross, this was his prayer. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. That was a psalm. I thirst. That was an echo of a psalm. My God, why have you forsaken me? That was a psalm. And when he rose from the dead, he opened the book of Psalms to the disciples on the road to Emmaus and explained what there was in those Psalms about him. And so he has given them to the church. And so he has filled this human experience, often of grief, of cries for help, of cries for deliverance, of anger, dismay. Almost every human emotion is in the Psalms, and yet those emotions are brought before God and transformed. There's something very powerful there. That really is a healing remedy. So maybe as as a thread to follow during Lent, it would be just to look at the daily psalm in the readings, perhaps to learn a new psalm, if we don't know, or if we half know a psalm, to have it by heart, because we never know when that psalm might not spring to life in our own life. But whatever way it is, the Psalms will carry us through. They are the prayer of Israel, they are the prayer of Christ, and they are the prayer of the Christian heart. And so there's just one suggestion for Lent would be to look in a simple, maybe daily way at the Psalms. They're wonderful things. Often just one line, 2 lines are enough. Reflect on them, and they can lead us deeper into the mystery of Christ's death and resurrection, and deeper into the truth of our own relationship with God.